Hi, my name is Samantha. I'm one of the admins here at Stitch to Stitch Sewing and Craft Group. I'm here to do an easy tutorial for you on how to make a sachet scarf using sachet yarn. You can use any yarn, any color. And you're going to need yarn. You're going to need a crochet needle, any size, scissors, a safety pin. I'll definitely let you know what the safety pin is going to be used for. So just a little bit about the yarn. You can see that it's all bunched up right now. You can do a couple things here. You can either stretch it out as you're making your scarf, or you can take an empty paper towel roll or toilet paper roll, stretch it out and start to wrap it around the toilet paper roll. I prefer to just work it from the yarn here. It makes it a little bit easier. Most of the scarves have a little decorative design. Either it's got a crochet design on the bottom, or this one you'll see has a silver design on it. I have one I already made. It has the cute little cotton balls on the bottom here. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier to show you, what's the top and what's the bottom. So here, the top part is where you're going to be working your crochet hook in. You're going to take the first part, you're just going to fold it together like this. Alright, and then you're going to work from the top hoops here. We'll start with the very first top hoop here on our folded piece of crochet yarn. You're going to take your crochet needle, any size, it doesn't matter. I prefer to work with the smaller ones, but today I'm just going to use a size H. You're going to take it with the needle pointing away from you. You're going to put your hook into the first loop. Well, technically it's two hoops since you folded it over, but we're going to count this as our first hoop. We're going to go into the next one, which is loop number 2. And then we're going to go into the third one here up at the top. Again, needle pointing away from you, 3. And then you'll see that it kind of tapers off here. So I'm going to go into the 4th hoop right here. And then keep working until I get 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 loops onto our hook here. You're going to take that that loop, and you're going to take that last loop and you're going to kind of turn your needle a little bit to grab that loop, and you're going to take that last loop and push it or pull it all the way through the loops, just like that. And I'll have a little slow motion video, something a little bit more up close so that you can see how I'm doing it. There are other tutorials out there. Some of them will tell you, you can skip one loop and just go to the next by skipping every other loops. It's completely up to you on how you want to do your loops. I prefer just to go to, the next loop here, making sure I have 9 loops on my hook, or you can skip the first 2, which I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to skip the first 2, go into the 3rd loop, which is going to be my 2nd loop here. So I'll continue to show you how to do that there. Alright, so you see here now you have your first little ruffle. Alright, so now that you've got the 1 loop here, you're going to skip 1 and 2. So you're going to go into the 3rd loop here. Again, with your needle, leaving the last loop on, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you have your 2nd ruffle here. Take this loop and pull it through the 8 other loops, and now you've got your 2nd ruffle. I know it doesn't look like much now, but I promise you, after you've gotten, some more loops on here, it's going to look like this. Now, the safety pin. After you get a few loops or a few ruffles here on your scarf started, it's a good idea, you can leave the needle on there actually, it's a good idea to take your safety pin and attach it to that last loop here. The reason for that is, if, say you have to set your work down, you've got to go tend to the kids, feed the dogs, cook dinner or whatever, you set it down and you walk away and you come back, you don't want to accidentally pull the yarn and unravel all the hard work you've done. So if you leave a safety pin in there, one, it's a placeholder, and two, it'll keep your scarf from unraveling. So, you know, after every couple of ruffles that you make, you definitely want to put the safety pin on there. And then it doesn't really get in the way, you can just keep moving. So again, I'm going to make a third ruffle here. Skip the first two, 1, 2, still keeping the loop on our needle here. Alright, go into the third loop, which is going to make the second loop on our needle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, still stretching the yarn out, and 9. Grab, I'm going to turn this around here. You're going to grab, you see I have all of these loops here and the ruffle in my hand, and I'm just grabbing this last yarn and pulling it through all of the loops. Then I've got the last loop as my first loop here. And then you're just going to keep going until you get the size that you want. And like I said, each yarn typically makes about 2 scarves, so I believe it's about 2 yards per scarf. And then I'm just going to put this around here. This one's a little bit smaller. It just was extra yarn that I had. So like I said, you can make a smaller one. I know especially tall people tend to need longer scarves, so you know, you can always be the judge of how long you want your scarf to be. So there's no set rules when you're making these. So what I'm going to do now here is I'm just going to stop the video, work on this a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to finish it up. Alright, so I just want to give you guys a kind of up close version here to make it a little bit easier to see. Again, we have our 1 loop here. We're going to skip the first loop. We're going to skip the second loop. We're going to use the third loop as our second loop to go onto our crocheting needle. So we've got 1 loop, 2 loops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Take that last loop there, and you may have to turn the needle a little bit and pull it through all 8 of those loops, and there you go. That's your ruffle. And then you're just going to keep on going until you get to as long as you want the length of your scarf to be. Alright, and as you can see here, this is my mini version of my scarf here. What you are going to want to do here is make sure you have your safety pin, again, my best friend here when making these scarves, in the last loop here. Alright, so you can finish it off a couple ways here. I've left quite a bit of yarn here. You can, see if I can get this to stretch out for you. Alright, so I always like to make sure I leave my safety pin there, because I know sometimes I have to set my needle down and I don't want to unravel my scarf. Alright, So what I like to do is go into the next loop, 2, 3, 4, and I'll just do 5. Pull that last one through. Alright, you're going to have this last loop, and what you're going to do is you're going to kind of pull that open here a little bit and take some of your tail. You're going to pull, make sure you hold on to that loop, pull some of that tail through. And there are a couple ways you can finish this. I prefer to do it this way, it's just a little bit easier. Alright, so now you've got your tail through that last loop, and you see you've got that little hole now from where you pulled your tail through your loop. I like to go into, take my tail, go into that loop. One more time. Pull it through. And what I'm going to do here is, now that I've got that hole, I'm going to pull the tail through, and all I'm doing is making a knot, just like that. And because I want to make sure it stays, I'm going to make one more knot around it. Pull my tail through it, and then tighten it up. You're going to grab your scissors, and you're going to cut close. Let's see if I can move that out the way. You're going to cut close here. And you don't have to worry about that knot making the scarf look ugly. Alright, so now that you've got the yarn cut and you've got that little knot, what you're going to do here is, now that you've my mini scarf here, you're going to take your ruffles and you're just going to start to unravel them, just like that. Well, not unravel them, but kind of stretch them out a little bit so you'll get that nice ruffle. And you'll notice with your scarf and your ruffles are down, you do not see that knot at all. So there you have it. You know, thank you for watching my very first tutorial. A little trick I do want to let you know is sometimes your sachet scarf is going to be a little bit thinner, and then you'll have, like I have this one, it's really thick yarn. So, you know, what technique may work for this may not work for this because it's a little bit thinner. So if you see that you need to maybe not skip any holes and just continue to crochet after you make your first ruffle, you can go directly into the next loop and then keep ruffling without skipping any holes. That's absolutely fine. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. So when you've made your first ruffle scarf, please make sure you post the picture in the comments. I definitely want to see everybody's projects. And hopefully, you know, I or Brooke can bring you some more tutorials. If there's something you guys want us to see or anything, let us know. We definitely appreciate any feedback, any ideas. And don't forget to make that burlap wreath that we're working on for our monthly project this year. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.